talked about that she was a lounge singer, you know, kind of a mediocre, failed career as a kind of torch singer, and we had that brief moment, but it got abbreviated to such an extent because we were just setting up the story and there was a lot. So I said to Ryan one day, well, give me another musical number because I loved, I mean, it was so much fun doing this little early piece that we did in the nightclub with the band and the music and learning a song, because I'm not a singer, so it's always great to do something that you don't know how to do, I think. And so somehow he came up with this idea of, and I thought it was brilliant the way it worked, because if you're like, you know, from the excess shock treatment and you don't know who you are, and then suddenly you break into this fantasy thing about the name game. And what was most fun about shooting it was all the inmates, how like they got, I mean, they really, really got into it. I mean, yeah, it was great fun. It was great fun to do. It's an odd song. It's not one of my favorites.
I don't know. I mean, I think that we wanted some redemption for Jude, and I think at that point she was in love with him, but it was pretty much all in her head in some weird way. So I think that you didn't need to go there, and I think, writing, but I can probably tell you what it's about in one word. I'll give you the title.
Give me the title.
The title of the next year is American Horror Story, Coven. A lot of things, but covens, yeah.
Exciting. And can you talk at all about what inspired that title?
Not too much. I mean, it's just something that it's a really cool story that we've been talking about for a couple of years actually, and this seemed the year to do it. So we're gonna do that.
Yeah! Woo! And do you know where you will be shooting or where it will be set? Can you say?
It's an interesting season because it's going to shoot in a couple places, one of which is New Orleans, which will be really yeah. And this is the first year we've ever done that. I mean, it's always been such a sound stagey show. I mean, we built that Asylum, and we built the Harmon House and Jessica's house, but this year we're going to go shoot a couple of different cities and a lot of really cool real locations. The fun thing about doing the show is this idea is researching, okay, what are the really haunted places in America, you know, because every year the institution of the show is, you know, one of the lead characters. The first year was Murder House and then the Asylum, so we have another couple doozy locales.
Yeah, America's fucked up.
With your ensemble growing sort of every season, how do you decide who you want to bring back? Do you write these characters first, or do you know you want to work with a certain actor and bring them back and then write a character for them?
It's never really about that. It always starts with, you know, what is the idea and what, you know, who, you get the idea and then we talk about the characters for many, many months. And the great thing about this show is we have such a huge, long lead time in the writing, which is why I think the quality of it is so amazing. We literally work on something from idea to the writing to the shooting around close to a year. So we come up with the story first, and then we come up with the characters, and then sometimes in the writer's room we'll say, well, what about, I mean, it is a repertory company. So we'll move people around, and sometimes there won't be yet a role for somebody, like, you know, when we started this season, I really had no idea that Dylan would be the person to play, you know, Sarah's son. But the deeper we got, and I was like, oh, that would work great. So we called him up, and of course he loves the show and loves the actor. So it's very fluid, and you sort of, you know, you start off with the base, and you know, it's a really great family because we all hang out a lot and love each other, and so I like mixing it up, and everybody, you know, always wants to come back.
And one thing you have said already is that Jessica will be playing a glamour cat. And Jessica, what is that?
I don't know what a glamour cat is, but I am excited.
Wonderful. All right.